What is happening, traders? God bless each and every single one of you. Hope you're having a stand-up freaking day. Today in the markets, we're going to be going over what happened, as well as AMC's chart on the micro and macro pictures, and then giving you a little peeky weeky at what's going on with IWM. So without further ado, traders, if you guys enjoy this kind of thing, slap the subscribe button and hit the like button, see the full length of the video, and let's go. So looking at what I believe to be the most important time frame, which is the daily time frame, you saw a very nice candle close on AMC, right? An inverted bullish hammer candle. That is typically a reversal signal, but we will have to wait and see, guys. Just kind of looking at the charts to see when the last time we got that was. It was right here. Right back in May 19th of 2026, and you did see that bullish momentum continue higher. So that's what we're waiting for and watching on the freaking charts for AMC. You saw a close higher than yesterday's close on lower volume. So even though we've seen higher lows and lower highs, we're kind of in a consolidative state. As we know, the volume has been going down from your freaking earnings. And no wonder, because yesterday's, or the 20th earnings, was the most volume in the stock traders since all the way back in freaking 2024, when you saw that 78% daily candle right here on the screen. So no wonder that you're seeing volume go down, because that is insane, guys. And I honestly am super excited to see this volume continue, guys. This is the kind of strength that you're seeing out of AMC after posting the best earnings in its entire history, guys. So now what we're watching on the shorter time frame, we'll kind of get into that on the hourly chart. We still have our gap up here at around 273. So that's our technical profit target to the upside on the short term. But on the hourly candlesticks here, guys, I'm watching kind of like this flagging out of price action on the 30-minute chart. You kind of have this coiling on the 30 minutes. So this thing could actually begin to break out in overnight trading, or potentially tomorrow morning. You're holding a nice uptrend on Webull that you established pre-earnings, and then you came all the way back down, guys. Our level to hold that we've mentioned multiple times was 220 to that 222 area. You respected it very well all the last couple days, and you had a little liquidity grab into this uptrend, right? You still closed above it, and then you're continuing to coil on the freaking stock. So that's what we're watching for on the shorter time frames. On the 4-hour, doing the exact same thing, right? Seeing volume come down here as you continue to coil. So that's what we're expecting going into tomorrow, right? Just more of this coiling until the markets make a decision whether it wants to break down and retest this uptrend, as well as fill this gap that is showing on the daily at 205 and is showing on the 30-minute at 194. So take that with what you may. But I do believe at some point this will fill, just have no idea when, right? The momentum is definitely in the bulls' favor here. So that's what we're watching for on the shorter time frame. On the freaking weekly, guys, for AMC, this is the most exciting part of the video. If you guys have stayed this long, slap the like button. The weekly time frame, you're still printing an inverted bullish hammer candle. So the same as the daily. And even though it's only Wednesday, guys, you've already eclipsed the last 1, 2, 3 weeks in volume on the stock. You're still above that 50-day EMA at 221.17 is your level to hold. Ooh, burping up that, sorry. And as you hold that, traders, this thing is going to get a lot more exciting in the near future, right? Looking at the 50-day EMA, looking at the way you respected that level, you have the blue EMA, this lagging indicator here, that is going to begin to curl up here after seeing the move from earnings. So as you see that priced into the indicator, that blue wave will come freaking sailing, guys. And when that crosses the 50, it will be, in my opinion, an absolute day to remember. Because the last time you get a cross down was right here in 2022, guys. And look at the moves that transcended 15%, 10%, 12%, 16%, right? Those are all weekly candles on the freaking macro. Look at what happened when you crossed through the freaking 50-day EMA. You saw going into it 8%, 50%, 277%, and then you stayed above it the entire way up to June. This is the kind of momentum that we need to hold if this thing is going to remain bullish, right? And even though you may peel back now to this uptrend, as you've seen a tap to the upside, tap to the downside, tap to the upside, tap to the downside, tap to the upside. So realistically, the flow of this stock could bring you all the way down to 190 into that gap fill. I'm still absolutely bullish on the long-term perspective here because of what you just did, right? The way that you've been expanding your top line sales, cutting your costs, and cutting the debt is going to inevitably be the thing that pushes this thing higher. And when you look at where you are in the macro chart, right? Looking at the monthly, you have never seen 4 monthly candles close back to back to back to back to back since 2016 or something like that, right? You zoom out all the way on the charts. Right here, 2018, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4 candles in a freaking row. And although that may seem scary, I'm not scared, right? Look at the volume that the bulls have had on these monthly candles, and every single candle is closed higher than the last. That is bullish, guys, absolutely bullish. And when you zoom out here, you can see that you're coming to a point of inflection, right? We'll go to the weekly for this one. This downtrend in the stock, traders, your all-time downtrend, is going to meet a point in time in which you've rejected there, rejected there, rejected here. It's now only at 250. You're currently trading at 225. Getting above that would break you out of your macro falling wedge and potentially, right, send you on pace to get above 318, to test $5, and getting above 5 pretty much vacuum seals you up to 7, right? So that's the kind of levels that you could see this thing begin to test. But it is all going to matter on whether or not you can hold where you currently are, right? Hold with strength on AMC. On the freaking monthly time frame, like we said, you're currently above the last. You've never closed a month this high since back here in November of 2025, right? So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months since you've seen a candle close above where you are today. I do believe you're going to see that happen. And I think it's likely that you probably stretch even further up into the high 2s going into the month end. And that is your absolute best case scenario, guys. As you see, getting above this red trend line would be absolutely freaking huge here. Nevertheless, I know we've covered in multiple different videos, but the technical profit target, guys, do we know what that is from the falling wedge? It's your full length of the freaking falling wedge. If you were to break out today, right, that's taking you there, right? And whether or not it happens automatically or over the stretch of time, right, doesn't have to be perfect. Could be more like that, 2028, who knows? That would be a beautiful cumulative structure there. So only time will tell, guys. Truthfully, we do not know when this thing is going to see reversal or if it will. Let's see. That's a better look on the daily gap fill on AMC. Currently sitting at 273. So if you get above this rising resistance here on AMC, tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, tap 4, tap 5. If you get above this, that currently sits at around 269 or so, it's likely you see the tests of the highs here at, what is this wick? 296. Getting above 296 puts you in full scale upswing, right? Because if you get above that, you're coming up to this 318 level, which was your top here from this pure capitulation, right? That was your absolute up thrust before seeing a rejection retest, rejection. So getting above that's going to be absolutely massive. And then that brings you into 362. That brings you into the next high at 405. And then you go for a little bit of a ride all the way up to 554. So if you were to play this in a risk to reward aspect, I was looking at this from Weeble's perspective. You could potentially lose 15, maybe 20% from this uptrend, but you possibly can gain at the resistance 21%. Get out of here, bar. 69%. Ha. And then all the way up to 4, 84%. All the way up to 5, 150%. From here all the way up to 7. Where's 7? 227%. I'm watching for this low particularly. This one is going to be an absolute stubborn one because look at the support and resistance you've had along the way, right? Support, lose it, resistance, 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 and then you break down. That's the level I'm watching for as we stair step higher. And I do freaking believe that that is going to happen, right? Let's see. And then from here all the way up to your previous all-time low, 360%. And then that's where it would really start to get a little uncontrollable through these gap fills at $19 and $43, right? So that is the macro potential on AMC. I do really think that this thing's looking really, really nasty. And truthfully, we were kind of saying these things all the way back. Where is it? On the quarterly chart, particularly, we were saying this ever since back here. Even though we were early, we were not wrong, right? This quarterly MACD cross is in full swing, as is the potential breakout of this falling wedge in the macro and this down sloping resistance. So once we see that, guys, absolutely absolute fireworks and boom boom candles should come into the chat. And I'm excited to see that with you guys. Excited to see that you guys are winning, making money in the markets, and that the markets are becoming a little bit more adverse and risk on. And speaking of that, talking about IWM, you're seeing a test of this wedge. Break up or break down tomorrow. There should be a decision, and we will see after this fake out breakout. If you break down, are you going to go and fill this gap? Currently sitting on the 4-hour chart at 281, or are you going to see another all-time high, right? And this will be probably what determines AMC's scenario here, right? If IWM breaks down, it's likely you come down with it into either this uptrend or this gap fill. IWM breaks up, it's likely you continue to defy the odds and continue going higher, right? So that is kind of what we're watching for the broader markets. Is you need this very, very tight wedge formation on IWM to break to the upside. And I think it's possible. I don't like this look of losing this breakout and then coming back down here into the uptrend with the gap fill down there. It does look a little indicative of a breakdown, but we will have to wait and see, guys. Looking at, I'll take a little peeky weeky on TradingView to see if it is on. Anything here with the RSI. Go to 1 hour. So on the 4-hour, this is probably the most encouraging thing that we've seen so far. You're coming into this uptrend in price as you look to test the bottom of this wedge-like formation, right? So that is actually the most encouraging part of this, is that if you see that uptrend and you see similar moves to what you saw back here, right? May 19th, when you saw an 8% stretch up, just comparing that to AMC, May 19th was also right here. May 19th was right here. Go to the daily time frame. May 19th. So if you see IWM do something that it did similarly back to May 19th, you should see a nice little pop on AMC. So that is our kind of breakdown on the broader markets as well as AMC. So thank you guys all for tuning in to another freaking video. If you guys enjoyed, hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out. And as always, guys, God bless you and your families. And remember, the best is yet to come. Let's freaking go.